Hello, good afternoon, guys. Welcome to MK Convenience Brokerage. My name is Mohammed. In this video, we're going to talk about the publication 502, medical and dental expenses, including the health coverage tax credit. So basically, we're going to be talking a lot about the medical and dental expenses, what's covered, what's not covered. So basically, let's get started. So this is basically I'm gonna go over the main heavy hitter points that I feel like which item should be itemized, which item is not gonna be used for tax deduction and stuff like that. Basically, the purpose of this video is to educate the viewers that want to learn about some like little law about the medical and dental tax credit information. And so basically, that's what I'm here to do. You could always feel free to stop the video and read the the publication on your own, and you could just go on Google and just put in the publication. You should be able to see it for the upcoming years. So what are the medical expenses? Well, medical expenses could include anything like diagnostic, cure, mitigation treatment, prevention of disease, and the cost of treatment affecting any part of the function of the body. It could be referred by the physicians, by surgeons, by dentists, and other medical practitioners. Usually the medical expense like such as you pay for co-payment or you pay for such treatment, then you pay it out of your pocket. You could use those for tax credits from for whichever year you're in. So keep in mind. So who is covered, who's not covered? So let's say you have a wife. Your wife and yourself are covered. If you are living together in the same household, you are covered. If you have a spouse, you are covered. Your children, you are covered. If you pay for expenses for them on behalf, such as a co-payment, whatever it is, you are covered. So keep in mind, you have to file to see if your children are qualified with you in order to be eligible for the medical tax exempt credit. That's one thing. You may have to use qualification child in under the IRS guideline to see if you qualify or not. You can include medical expenses you pay for individual that have independent. Always keep in mind, but you always have to make sure that what the treatment is. It's not every treatment will be qualified or not. Keep in mind for that. They talk about the qualification child. What is a qualifying child? It's basically anything with blood relative, like your son, daughter, your spouse. Like those. Any person that's been permanently and totally disabled that can be covered as well. One that's on an age limit on their part, live with you for more than the year, didn't file a joint return other than a claim to refund. This is a qualified relative. If you're just on your own, this is about a qualified relative, qualified child, qualified relative. This is something you could also claim for adopted child if you adopted a child. That also you could do that as well. These are what medical expenses are includable. You can include medical expense the amount you pay for a legal abortion, acupuncture. You can include a medical expense for the amount you pay for an acupuncture, alcoholism. Let's say if you went to an alcohol rehab program, you could use that. You can include in medical expense amount you pay for ambulance services, and ambulance services is quite expensive, depending on which state you live in. In New York State, about close to $900 for ambulance services. So keep in mind for artificial limbs, artificial teeth, bandages, birth control pills. These are some of the things that is covered. Breast pumps, breast reconstruction surgery. So some of the things, as you can see, is covered. So basically, usually your tax preparer is supposed to be able to ask you these questions. If not, then you could always let them know that you are covered in some of the things. So you could always read this on your own as well. Like I said, it gives you a better understanding. For the sake of time of the video, I'm not going to read every one of them. I'm just going to hit on the heavy points, feeling that whichever it is. A lot of times you pay for co-payments for hospitals, for doctors and dentals. You could use those for medical expenses as well. Because sometimes they pay you for the bill, but you also have to pay for co-payments and that as well. Service and dog animals, you can also use that for medical expense. The cost of buying and training and maintaining the service animal, that can also be used for medical expenses. There's also Medicare B and Medicare A, B, D. These are all medically for prescription medical insurances, and they have their own way of doing so. So keep in mind, you have to see which one you are at it as well. Unused sick leaves to use premium. If you're on a job, that's something different. If you have sick days and you have to pay for, you have to go to a doctor and stuff like that, they also help you out with that as well. Lead-based paint remover. You can include in medical expense a cost of removing lead-based paint from surfaces in your home to prevent a child who has or had lead poisoning from eating the paint. So let's say if you have a child that's been that ate lead poison, you could use those lead-based paint removal fee to use at the medical expenses. Legal fees, you can include in medical expense legal fees you paid that are necessary to authorize treatment for medical illness. However, you can include in medical expense fees that for the management or for guardianship, estate fees for conducting the affairs of the person being treated, or other fees that are necessary for medical care. So let's say if you use legal fees for, let's say, the same situation as the lead paste, you're using legal fees to gain money from the person. You could use that as well for your tax credit as well. Laboratory fee as well. If you go to the doctor, do a drug test, that's laboratory fees also included. Qualifying long-term care insurance contract. I mean, a lot of stuff has been included. Just keep in mind you have to look into it. Meals, you can include in medical expenses the cost of meals at a hospital, similar institution, if the principal reason to be there is to get to medical care. Let's say if you're at the hospital and you're buying meal for yourself for your recovery, you can use those for medical expenses. So a lot of home as well. You can also include nursing home, like if you saw a lot of people that pay nurses and you have a private nurse, you could use it for medical expenses. A lot of these things, as you can see, is included. So basically, like I said, you should read this on your own. Like if you want to stop at you're in a smoking program, you could use it for medical expenses. You could use medical expense costs of equipment that displays the audio part of television program as subtitle for person with a hearing disability. Let's say if you have a hearing disability, you want to pay for the television because you were not able to able to hear it. You have subtitles. They may charge you. You may use it for medical expenses. A lot of stuff has been, as you can see, included for medical expenses like bus taxis or plane fees for ambulance services. Anything that has to do with medical, you can use those for medical expenses. You could even use medical expenses for weight loss treatment for specific disease diagnosed by a physician. So let's say if you're such as obesity, hypertension, or heart disease, you could use weight loss program as using that for medical expense. So a lot of ICC, it is like, for example, funeral expense. This is something you can include in medical expense amount you pay for funerals. This is not included. Diapers, you can include in medical expense the amount you pay for diapers or diaper services, unless they are needed for relief the effect of particular disease. Any type of disease or anything that's going to be going towards it, that could be used for medical expenses. Anything that doesn't have to do with anything medical, then obviously it's not going to be covered from medical expenses. To keep in mind. Like weight loss program, if you know that you've been diagnosed with obesity or with high blood pressure or with diabetes, and doctor recommends weight loss program, you may use those for medical expenses. Basically, teeth whitenings you can include in medical expense amount paid to whiten teeth. Swimming lessons, you gotta check the dancing lessons as well. Veterinary fees, like not everything will be included. So keep in mind, just make sure whoever you're filing taxes with the tax preparer, they should be able to help you out and see which one is covered, which one's not covered. They're the ones that are more educated about the issue. But other than that, you could always read this on your own as well. It's a lot. I just wanted to cover the basic points of it. If I didn't cover the major points or I missed something, I forgive me for doing so. I mean, you could read this on your own. It's very helpful. It's very good to know. It gives you much more better leverage on knowing what's going on, what you are covered and not covered. Even the most experienced tax preparer may not know every part of the detail. The best bet is that you do your own research and you give it to them. So this way, if you have any questions, they will be able to help you out as well. With that said, thank you again, guys, for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any other question, comment, concern, please comment, like, subscribe. I'll try my best to help you out as much as I can. Thank you again, guys, for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.